It is a good morning, and let me stop myself before I make this any worse. So I lost 100, which is not that bad, but overall, I'm not happy with what I did today. I took like a bunch of trades. So initially, my expectation was for it to go down, and it did that. But I saw this 15-minute fair value gap up here, and it had already touched it, and it had made this fair value gap afterwards, and it was going down. So I thought, okay, maybe it'll go down at 8:30, and I was not waiting for the 9:30 opening, which I really should have done because I took a bunch of trades in here. I think I can show you the executions. So this is not how I want my chart to look after I'm done trading. But I was basically trying to short it all throughout here. And then I managed to get a very nice entry over here and ride it all the way down to these lows, taking partials along the way. So yeah, I was up 200 at the high point, but then I saw this fair value gap, and my final targets were down here. So I was like, okay, let's see if I can't catch this, and then started chopping around, obviously, because we have FOMC later. So this liquidity pool is probably going to be tapped later on in the day, which I failed to consider. And this was already pretty nice, and I'd made 200. So I really should have stuck with that. But yeah, let me show you the executions one more time. This is just over trading, and it's a miracle that I only lost $100 because my trading was actually, pretty good. But there was really no need for me to do this. So let me just go and show you all of the entries. So we had a few stops in here. So I was being pretty patient. I was waiting for it to like show me something before I was entering, but I just didn't wait for the right time. So all throughout here, I was trying to short it, and it was just going up and up and up and up. And it was, well, initially it was showing signs of bearishness, so this stop was okay to take. My stop was, it was not in a bad place. It got, it literally got ticked out. This is the exact high, and this is where my stop was, so that was pretty unfortunate because I would have definitely partialed at these lows. But my entry was very far in discount, and when you're shorting, you want it to be in premium. So if I'd waited for it to be up here, that would have been nice. I could have shorted this and then taken out like not even 10 points. So this range was very small. There was no reason for me to be trading it, and I really should have just waited for 9:30. Over here, I shorted this fair value gap, but I was being patient with it because I was expecting it to go all the way down. And it came back up one more time to stop these highs out, and I shorted again. So then I was looking for this short. My stop was very wide again, which is, I think, is good, but it didn't work out this time. And yeah, so this is the magical power of not over leveraging. I took a bunch of losses today, and I'm still only down $100. And mostly the reason for that is that I took two very nice trades over here. So on 5 contracts, I was partialing. Once it took out this high, and ES also took out this, but it didn't take out this. So there was SMT here. Let me hide this so it's easier to see. So this high over here is this one, and Nasdaq took it, but ES didn't. So there was SMT, and I was trying, my entire premise was that this 15-minute fair value gap would hold bearish, and we would see a run for these lows, which we did. So I was shorting it in here. Once it went all the way up there, I was short in here. There is a very small fair value gap, as you can see, which I took, and my stop was above this breaker over here. And then we took partials at these lows and some more lows down here. But then this is where things started getting bad because my stop got topped again, and I was starting to get annoyed because I really should have left my stop up here since there was this fair value gap. But I was like, oh, but Apex trailing drawdown, let me just put it nice and close so I don't lose anything. And then it ran some more. So it tapped me over here, and then I entered again over here because I was still bearish, and we got this win as well. But then my stop got tapped again because look, this entire run there were no inefficiencies, so I didn't know where to put my stop. I should have really just trailed it much tighter so that I wouldn't be annoyed when it retraces and barely hits me. But then I shorted again, and this is where things started to get bad because I was getting annoyed and I was just pushing the button when I really should not have been. It had already taken out these lows, triple equal lows, with this fair value gap, and look, now it's just ranging because it does want to go down here, but it already took all of this sell side, so it's just grinding out everybody and making them impatient and just making highs, tapping those highs, making lows, tapping those lows, and I did get a little bit chopped up in here, and then I took a partial on this, but this was just really bad. So I think, let's see how many trades I took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I was like, okay, I should really not be trading in this range. Chances are I'm just going to lose. There's no point. Wait for a better day. I already took out this very nice trade. Let's look at the trade performance. So, yeah, my total profit trades were $500. My total loss trades were also $500. But there was like $60 of commissions and like $50 of losing. So overall, you know, could have been worse, but definitely not happy with myself. I said that for this account, I would be only taking the trades that are really obvious. And today, at the start, it was okay, you know. This fair value gap, I was expecting it to hold and for it to run to here, but it didn't. It just rallied at 9:30. And then I was like, okay, there's SMT. I'm expecting it to go down. This 15-minute fair value gap up here is still holding. Let me short it, and then I should have just stopped there. But there were more equal lows, and I thought to myself, well, I might try to catch them. And that's really not a good idea, especially when the market is doing something like this. So once I got stopped out on my runners over here, I should have really considered getting off the charts because my target had already been hit. And after it hits lows like this, there's a chance it'll retrace, there's a chance it'll chop around. And yeah, it could still go down, but it's not a really high probability trade, and I should not be trying to catch that. So overall, not the worst case scenario. We are a little bit down on the trailing drawdown, so we have 1,000, but that is more than enough for me. That's still like 10, more than 10 stops. And I'm not intending to take 10 stops in a row because if I did that, then I would just be taking bad trades. So with that being said, there's FOMC later, so I'm getting off the charts, and I also have places to be. So yeah, I'll be on later on this week probably. Someone told me that I should stream in the comments. I am thinking about doing that, but as of right now, I don't think that would be a good idea because I'm very focused on the charts, and I think it would be a pretty boring stream because I wouldn't be doing a lot of talking. I would be really focusing on taking good trades. So I just prefer to do these recaps for now, but at some point I might consider streaming. And with that being said, see you all later on this week.